The Republic was portrayed as the good guys in the prequels, but was the Republic really the good ones? I mean, think about it. The Republic was corrupt, the Republic was weak, and what I'm going to be talking about in today's video, the Republic sent kids to war. All that on today's episode of Star Wars Nerds and Geeks. Let's just get straight to it. The Clone Army. The Clone Army was made up of a bunch of kids, 10-year-olds actually. Now, if you look at the army, they look like they're all adults, but trust me, they are not. These clones were created in 32 BBY, and episode 2 happens in 22 BBY, which by that math means that those clones are 10 years old. The reason why clones look like they are so old, like they are adults, is because the Kaminoans enhanced their growth cycle so that these clones would age twice as fast as normal humans did. So the clones physically ended up aging twice as fast as most people did. So that's why in only 10 years, these clones were able to become 20 physically. And that's a good thing for an army if you're not thinking about morals or ethics, because you can get an army out, boom, in half the time. It's really efficient. However, of course, I am going to be talking about the morals and ethics of this. See, while the clones were physically 20 years old, the Kaminoans weren't able to speed up the growth of their minds. So these clones are mentally only 10 years old. And why is that a bad thing, you might ask? Well, first off, why are you asking that? They're kids. You shouldn't be sending kids to war. It's just like the basic law of humans. Don't send kids to war. But in a more scientific answer, the reason that you shouldn't be sending kids to war is because their brains are still developing. The human brain still develops until I believe they are 20 years old. And for all that time, the brain is developing, getting in new information, and it's shaping, and every single day the brain is constantly shaping. If you meet a adult when they're 30, they'll probably be the same when they're 35. But if you meet a kid when they're 10, they'll probably be different when they're 15, because kids change a lot in a small amount of time. And the amount of things that are coming into them, all the things that are around them, their environment, it shapes who they become. So if you put kids into a war environment, that is going to mess with them forever. In the real world, soldiers have PTSD, but these are adults and their brains are fully developed, and their brains don't change as much as the kids do. Imagine if you sent a kid to war. Imagine the after effects the brain would have, the amount of PTSD, the amount of shock they would have. It's just horrific. So now I think I've satisfied all the skeptics about why it's bad to send a kid to war. But what maybe the skeptics are thinking, well, why would you blame the Republic for this? It's the Kaminoans who sped up the growth process. It's the Kaminoans who gave the Republic an underage military. So it's really the Kaminoans' fault, right? The Republic had no choice. They had to take the soldiers in. And I agree with that to a degree. It's definitely the Kaminoans' fault that these clones were created. But the Republic didn't have to use the clones. The Republic is massive. It has many people in the Republic. They could easily set up a military, and even if they couldn't set up a military, who's to say they couldn't use droids as a military? All of this would have worked out really well, but instead, the Republic decided to use the underage clone troopers. And this isn't very surprising that the Republic did something like this, because the Republic has been sending kids off to war for a very long time. And of course, I'm not talking about the Republic itself, but rather the Jedi Order. However, since the Jedi Order acts under the guidance of the Republic, even though they won't admit it, they really do. Because of that, I say that the Republic is doing this. Anyways, the Jedi Order, under the guidance of the Republic, is constantly sending kids out to war, to battle zones. They have these Force-sensitive children, and they are sending them out to battle. Ahsoka Tano, in the Clone Wars, was barely a teenager. She was very, very young. And then her friend, Barriss Offee, was also around her age. Again, very, very young. Teenagers being sent off to war. That's something that is unheard of here on Earth. Because well, for obvious reasons. Like I said before, you don't send kids off to war because of many, many reasons, but if you want to get scientific, it's because of their brains are still developing. So I've gone over why it's bad that you send kids off to war, and I've gone over other examples of the Republic sending kids to war, but another thing I want to talk about is with this information, you can look back on the Clone Wars and you can find it actually happening. Like I said, the Clone Wars, it takes place over 3 years, and an adult in 3 years doesn't change that much, but a kid in 3 years changes a lot. So if you watch the Clone Wars, you will see that the clones at the beginning of the Clone Wars had a much different personalities than the clones at the end of the Clone Wars. And that's not just because the war shaped them, that's because they are actually getting older. They're starting in this war at 10 years old, and at the end they're 13, they're teenagers. And if you've ever compared a 10-year-old to a 13-year-old, you know that they are very different. One example of this comes from the episode where the 501st is attacking Umbara under the command of General Krell. And at this point, the clones are about 13 or so years old, so they're teenagers. And teenagers are notorious for being rebels. And you can see this in Fives constantly challenging Krell's leadership. And Fives is he's a teenager at this point. He's mentally a teenager. Physically, he's 26, but mentally, he is a teenager. And so you can see him acting like a teenager as he defies Krell, as he recklessly goes and attacks the droid control ship, as he does all this stuff, acting like a teenager. And you can just see this time and time again as you watch the Clone Wars. I just think it's really interesting to be able to see how the clones are changing, because even though they are physically in their 20s, they are mentally a kid. And that's all I have to talk about. In summary, what I talked about was the Republic's clone army was full of kids because the Kaminoans used a growth process to enhance the growth of the clones, but the clones mentally didn't grow faster, so they were mentally 10 but physically 20. And then also, the Republic has used kids in war many times, like with the Jedi Order sending teenagers off to space, like with Ahsoka Tano and Barriss Offee. And then also how it's very interesting as you watch the Clone Wars, you can see these kids grow up and they change a lot during the Clone Wars, and you can see how their personalities change, not only with the clones but also with the Jedi Padawans. Ahsoka at the beginning of the Clone Wars, she was just barely a teenager, and at the end she was almost an adult. So again, a lot of things change in them. But that's all I've got for today. This is Star Wars Nerds and Geeks signing off. See you all next time.